8radio.com.
Every time the beat drop.
Hey everybody! How is it going? My name is Kyle, this is Frankie, you are watching Save and Continue. We are coming to you live from the beautiful radio studios in lovely New York, and we're here to talk about games, tech, the internet, pop culture, all that fun stuff. And it is 7 o'clock, Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. It's been a big week in gaming, lots of stuff to go over. I said it in a bunch of the tweets and stuff. We will be talking about Battlefront. We got our hands on it a little bit. It's been awesome. We'll get into that deeply. And a bunch of other cool stuff to get to. So let's talk about, like we always do.
Nothing.
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 Well, you are
nothing
streaming
new.
A bunch. If anyone's been hanging out on this Twitch channel, you'll know that we've been streaming a lot.
I'm gonna apologize in retrospect. Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on. I've been off of my Halo game recently, so like anything.
Oh, I
on
thought
the
it was a
stream.
tech issue.
Oh no, nothing. No, it's a Frankie issue. It's a Frankie issue. Yeah, I've been going through a move right now and everything like that. I think my brain is in the right place. My fingers are not on the triggers well enough right now.
I've hopped on twice and caught your stream twice, and I've watched them. One of them I left on for a while, and I was watching in and out, but one of them I hopped in for 5 minutes, and the first thing I heard was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, guys." It's like,
See, I'm really hard on myself when it comes to Halo, and I've been just playing off lately. So there's parts in the stream where I was fine, but. I'm very critical of myself, so I'm thinking for Halo 5 it's going to turn around soon, but right now there's other things going on that are kind of intervening with...
Point is, we're streaming a bunch, you're on it like crazy. I got
Yes,
the other day,
yes,
I hopped
yes,
on
yes.
to go stream, it wouldn't let me access it. I was like, what's the problem? I go onto our page and you were already streaming, and that got me goosebumps. I was so
why?
excited. Because that's what I want.
You were, okay,
I want, the dream is to have a hectic schedule where it's like people are fighting to use the channel to stream.
Yeah.
Like that kind of activity. I want us to be a 24/7 channel.
Okay.
At some point. That's a big dream.
Yeah, no, I see that. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like content constantly being coming
It's
out.
basically right now, if I have some free time, I'll just jump on Halo and, play it. And
That's how it does it. If I'm going to be playing a PC game now, I just stream it. I've figured out the settings so it really doesn't take away from my computer or anything to make it frame rate issues or anything. So it's like a why not, I talk to myself enough when I'm playing games. So because a lot of the times you are talking to a blank room, at least in the game.
Yeah, I'm really
get used to that.
I'm really contemplating if I want to stream the campaign when 5 comes out, but I might just...
That's a tricky situation.
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you want to really enjoy that, kind of campaign?
Well, we could do a silent, silent stream.
That's also
I might
true.
not talk
a
at
lot
all,
of people,
you know what I mean? So we'll see what
those
happens.
are some of with campaigns specifically, a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
They prefer the silent, get rid of the webcam, get rid of the overlay graphics, and just make it, live vicariously through that person. And so I think a lot of Let's Plays are developed and live streams and things. I think that's one of the best, I guess they don't need a defense from the world, but one of the best defenses against people saying that live streaming or Let's Plays are stupid. Saying that why you want to watch someone play a video game. It's just another example of why that makes sense. You can't afford a game, you want to check out a game out. Exactly why you do it. I've been playing, I wanted to bring this up because I've actually met a bunch of really cool streamers that we're networking with on Twitch because of this. The game Aftermath has been released on Steam to scathing reviews. Really, really bad reviews.
Haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, it's basically a free-to-play version of H1Z1 or DayZ.
Oh, okay. So
it's
another zombie open world
zombie
game.
Yep. But it's free to play. That's the big selling factor for it, and people are giving it scathing reviews because, interestingly enough, on Steam a couple months ago actually the past couple of years,
Romero's.
There's been controversy because a couple of rip-off zombie MMO games have been released like DayZ called Infestation and Wars with a Z, and basically they were more or less just alpha products thrown out to
I see this one called Arizona with Z.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Really, really bad games. Just piss poor games that they just for the quick buck. And this game is used that as their base platform. They basically took Wars. I want to say Wars, and took that base game that was crap and added all the functionalities to it that would have made it an acceptable game. So basically, this is a reimagining of War Z. They have to legally make this announcement public on their page, and immediately everyone just assumed it was going to be the same game they released with a new title because they have done that before. This is not a common occurrence. This is a common occurrence. But if you actually gave the time to play the game, you'll see that they actually did fulfill their promises and really fix some of these bugs. It's a great free-to-play option if you can't afford H1Z1. Of course, it's missing some features. It is a watered-down version of DayZ and H1Z1, but I don't see that as a problem because a lot of the streams I see now of those, it's just such a complicated game. There's so many issues with it. There's so many bugs because they keep adding new mods to it like Epoch and Survival, and this is kind of a back-to-basics version of the zombie MMO title, and I got no problem with that. It's a lot more simple.
When you say back to basics, you mean very much like DayZ, like
yes. I mean,
because that to me that was really the pioneer open world zombie game for an MMO style.
Exactly.
Sort of game.
I like to think of it with this analogy. It's pretty much like hopping onto Minecraft. DayZ is like Minecraft, and then Aftermath is basically vanilla Minecraft, like Minecraft when it was first released. So Minecraft got released, you had very limited things to do, and eventually they just kept adding and adding things to it and made it a great game. This is basically vanilla Minecraft when it just came out. It's vanilla DayZ. Now, I have no problem with that because it's simpler and you can kind of enjoy it a little bit.
And the question in my mind, seeing this, Romero's Aftermath, it's associated with George A. Romero?
George A. Romero game, yeah.
Wow.
And again, that was not, you'd think that'd be a selling point, but actually that was a lot of the reason people stayed away from it, because they go, oh man, they were just gonna throw Romero's name on it and expect us to just gobble this up, and a lot of reviews...
and his stuff, in the recent years hasn't been too great either. I mean, he respects to George, but I mean, Land of the Dead, I'm sorry.
Land of the Dead. You know what?
Land of the Dead was garbage.
So I liked Land of the Dead because the main guy in it is the main guy from Mentalist.
Well, it's what's his face? It's
Simon Baker.
Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else.
No,
I'm thinking of the short.
I thought you were gonna say Diary of the Dead.
No.
And like,
Diary of the Dead.
That is a bad zombie.
I saw that with John.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
That was a horrible.
Yeah, that was pretty bad too.
Land of the Dead was bad, but that wasn't as bad as Diary of the Dead. Point is, it's a really good game. Don't listen to the reviews. If you want to check it out, I stream it a bunch on Twitch. Simply Terrible, also on Twitch, really fun guy. He's like a master at it, basically. He's a really cool dude. I was just watching his stream before. And yeah, because I really wanted to get into DayZ, and I really wanted to get into H1Z1, but I really didn't want to put the money down for it because there's a new zombie game. I almost bought DayZ, then H1Z1 came out, and everyone was like, no DayZ, get H1Z1. And now I'm kind of afraid. Now Aftermath is the second most popular free-to-play game on the Steam service, which leads me to believe, is that the next one that everyone's going to hop onto? Like, because it's free to play.
See, me, at this point, I still have yet to experience like an MMO zombie experience like DayZ. Because DayZ, I remember when it was at its most popular, I was like really jealous.
Yeah.
I was watching the footage. I was watching the videos of like these little stories that people almost, made just through gameplay, just through things just happening and different encounters.
Like taking other players hostages, taking all their weapons, giving them
that's a classic
each, and going, whoever wins gets their stuff
yes,
back.
that particular one was pretty entertaining.
Oh man, like that's what made it amazing to me.
Yeah,
like
but
the players were more terrifying than the zombies.
Yeah, so if they, I mean, that's I'm still wanting, as a Resident Evil fan, or at least an ex-Resident Evil fan,
Ouch.
Yeah, I really, I still want like an Outbreak experience, just more refined. I feel like, well, see, Capcom really.
That's what it is without Resident Evil. This is basically Resident Evil Outbreak, but in MMO form.
Yeah, but Resident Evil, I mean, it has a very certain gameplay element to it, and I want
tank control.
I want old school, not even necessarily tank controls, but I mean, I wouldn't care.
I do.
But old school Resident Evil, as an online service, playing with other people, I think an Outbreak-esque game would do very well in this day and age. But of course, Capcom always seems to make the wrong moves. So I really don't see that happening, but who knows? Maybe the Resident Evil series will go in a direction where they'll start making better choices like that.
I don't know the details of it, but I remember just reading about Resident Evil releasing a an altered version, basically, of Umbrella Corps or something along those lines.
No. It's not an alternative version. It's a whole new title.
Well, yeah, a whole new title, but it seems very similar to what Umbrella Corps was.
Yeah,
it's a few of the characters.
Let me put it this way: Umbrella Corps was still a cooperative experience. It was still like a player versus environment.
Oh, this is the tactical game, right?
This is more of a tactical PvP style game set in the Resident Evil universe. It doesn't even have the Resident Evil or Biohazard name in the title. And I mean, I never poo-poo anything that I don't know about. I couldn't think of a better term to say, but I'm always interested when something is set in the Resident Evil universe to see how badly they could mess it up this time. So I looked into it, and it looks promising.
Did you know the title for it?
Umbrella Corps. Yeah, it's Umbrella Corps.
Oh.
Yeah, no. But you're talking about the other game that it was related to.
No, I know, but you see how
it's called Umbrella Corps.
It's very similar to Umbrella Corps.
Well, no. This is called Umbrella Corps.
Yeah.
The other game was not Umbrella Corps.
What was it called?
I don't remember, and I don't care.
I want to know.
But it was
Jeepers Creepers.
I don't know. I forget what it was called, but it was very. I mean, I didn't get to play it. I know some people liked it, but they're pretty much. People thought it was something like that. Like a lot of eyebrows were raised when they were like, "Oh, so you're coming out with this game again?" But
yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know.
Are you? I kind of asked the same thing to some of the guys on Twitch because Rainbow Six Siege is being released. I think it's out, if I'm not mistaken, or at least you can play it. It's beta.
Yeah, you can play
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking a lot of the guys, like specifically like myself, because I am a big fan of the franchise. Mm-hmm. Do you like the direction it's heading in now? That it's a tactical shooter, kind of less story, more competitive multiplayer. Does this interest you at all?
I can't give a fair answer to that because I've been really out of the loop with Rainbow Six and even generally Tom Clancy games.
A lot of Resident Evil people nowadays are really critical about the story, considering that it's been very lackluster. Do you like how this really isn't a story? Do you think this could be good because they're getting away from
No. I don't care about side stories. I mean, let me put it this way. No.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me put it this way. I don't care about side stories in the sense that I don't mind them making them. They just need to have substance. They need to be worth the time of the development and really the time to even talk about it. So, I don't mind if they make a game like Umbrella Corps. I just think they need to do it right. And honestly, I think they need to get their cred back because they have long ago lost the trust of the hardcore old school Resident Evil fan. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil 4, and I really didn't like 5, and 6 is an absolute disaster. But I think they really need to win us back in a way. And all I really care, it's pretty sad that all I care about right now is the Resident Evil 2 remake because I know
it's great.
Well, no, it's sad because they need to pull that card because we know it's not going to suck. Yeah. And I've said this before.
That's my
You know it's not going to suck because it's Resident Evil 2. But if that's the thing that Capcom needs to do now is make a remake, which everybody's doing now, which I have no problem with, to make a good Resident Evil game, I mean, there's something wrong there.
That's my analysis behind the Umbrella Corps. Maybe they're realizing, like, oh my God, the last 4 stories we put out have been crap. We've done very bad storytelling. Let's get away from the storytelling and give everyone what they want.
That's wishful thinking.
We're in the tactical shooter age now. Or at least we're heading in that with XCOM and Rainbow Six Siege.
We've been in that for decades.
We're much more. I'm seeing much more tactical shooters. I'm seeing series that didn't previously focus too much on tactical shooters becoming more tactical shooters. They're releasing an XCOM version of the Walking Dead mobile game.
Yeah, which I heard was decent.
Jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I heard it was alright.
Which is great because it sucked.
Here's the thing, Resident Evil. Let me just put it this way: I wouldn't give Capcom that much credit for saying that. We've been making our stories so crappy that we're just gonna ditch it. I don't think they're not thinking like that. They're thinking because hey, shooters are popular. Let's try to cash in on that. That's what they're trying to do. But they keep doing stuff like this, and it's not succeeding whatsoever.
They have the Nintendo mentality, but they don't have the backbone or the money that Nintendo has. Because Nintendo, I believe I read that if they saw no profits for the next 20 years, or they lost $250 million a year, they'd still be fine. For the next 50 years, they still would be totally good with their company. Mm-hmm. And that's been the Nintendo logic. They just keep doing their own thing, and everyone's like, "That's not working. We're not digging it." And they go, "Nope, we're gonna keep doing it." And eventually, everyone kind of gets on board with it, or they hit a nerve and they keep going.
Yeah, but
Nintendo never really sways. They do their own thing.
But let's not forget how poorly the Wii was doing in terms of the hardcore. And I hate saying that term, but the hardcore core gamer.
You have to specify that now. There is the casual has.
No, I know.
It's justified to make those.
Yeah, but really, what I'm saying is that it comes down to the point that you need to really, I think, listen to your. I mean, from a corporate standpoint, of course, you want to make the most money. I understand that, but if you really want to get the most recognition and I think the most respect, you want to go with the classic audience that really understands what made the game and the franchise good in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
I get your logic. I do. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, the gaming industry right now sees more profit in, again, I hate to use the word, casual gamers, because it's a little easier to access those people. I feel like it's easier to make those kinds of content, whereas, with hardcore games, you really need to focus on a lot more things because there's a lot more people being critical about it. Do you get what I'm saying? People who play Candy Crush aren't sending in tweets and stuff about how bad some of these features are, but the guys playing the most up-to-date, AAA titles who are paying that $60 are much more critical about what they're buying, and they should be. Everyone in the gaming industry should be critical of what they're purchasing.
Well, I mean, the perfect
consumer.
I think the best example, and I mean, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but Halo 5 is the best example of a company really listening to their fans and really, what do we do to make this franchise get on top again? Because, I mean, it was no surprise to anybody that even, especially after Halo 4, and seeing the statistics that the popularity was going down. Halo 4 had a very brief, I guess, lifespan in terms of popularity. I mean, it of course, because the Halo game blew up at first, then it just kind of out of nowhere dwindled. So with Halo 5, they're pulling all the stops. They're really going back to the basics. They're making the game very much more classic Halo while mixing in new elements, and they're doing it very well. So I think they should do the same thing with Resident Evil. I mean, honestly, I think Resident Evil 4 was and is the best blend of the new Resident Evil and the old classic Resident Evil that we had.
It was easily one of the more like shooter-esque action-packed.
But they did it right.
And again, for someone like you who's a classic Resident Evil fan, to say that is
like,
it's
my second favorite Resident Evil.
I mean, I'm saying if someone's a shooter fan and they hopped in, this is their first Resident Evil, no duh, they're going to enjoy this one over everything else because it's much more mobile, much more faster, less tank controls. But for classic people like you to say that means something because it's like you're used to the old controls, the old style,
because
survival.
It's the survival part of it. It's the pacing. It's the atmosphere. All these three things that Resident Evil has lacked in the last couple of games.
Still, one of my favorite things to watch on Twitch are Resident
Evil.
Yeah, because it's one of those games where you can watch over.
Well, I would love to play. We'll see when the time comes around. When Resident Evil 0 remake comes out, I'm definitely going to stream that next year. Definitely going to stream that. And of course, when the time comes, if I'm streaming that point, which I'm sure I will, Resident Evil 2, I mean, I'm excited. I'm so excited for that.
It takes some setup with the PC, because I like to have the layout and the webcam, and then like notifications when someone follows, like a graphic comes up with music, but it really is so easy with consoles, just to hit that share button and do it. It's, I mean, some people, times you're tired, you don't want to focus on that kind of stuff, but it really is like no excuse not to just hit that stream button whenever you play,
Yeah, and actually speaking, just because we're on the topic of, we'll get off of this really quick, but Halo and Resident Evil, I mean, I used to use Forge in Halo Reach.
Oh, wait, I know you're going to talk about, let's go to commercial break first.
Okay,
that way you can go off on, right?
Awesome.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a bunch about Battlefront and the new features, such as Forge, added to the new Halo game. So stick around, we'll be right back. You're watching Save and Continue. Coming at you.
Hey guys, this is Kyle Melnick, and you're watching
Save or Continue? I think it's Soar. It's Andor. Is there an ampersand in there? Ampersand. Andor, that's the classic.
Hey, this is Chris West Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the InRavio TV network.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey everybody, we are back. It is 7:20. This is Save and Continue. We are live from Radio Studios, New York, talking about video games, tech, the internet, all that fun junk. Oh, we don't have a downvote. Wow, look at that. That's great. Don't worry about it. Anyway, we were talking about Halo 5 before we went to commercial break and the newly announced features to Forge and a couple other things. So why don't you enlighten us on what you'll be able to get your hands on in Halo 5?
Yeah. I mean,
You good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay.
Just choking on some milk. So, yeah, Forge is back, and it's better than ever. So basically what they're adding is stuff that I've wanted in Forge for a while. They're adding the whole terrain modification. They're adding weather modification.
The weather was really, when you
can change the wind.
That's crazy.
Yep.
The weather is crazy.
You can change
how does that not
lighting,
how have
everything.
they done that already? Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, the technology now obviously is more profound and more capable of doing that. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to make more Forge stuff when the game comes around, because Halo 4, I was not impressed with the Forge at all. But Halo Reach's Forge, I made the Resident Evil 1 mansion from Remake. And it took me a while to make. So it seems like with all the tools they're adding, that allows you to kind of put all these pieces that you would put individually in the map together, so you can move them all around at once. So for example, Kyle, that whole map that I made, I could just move around in one click.
that's awesome.
You know?
And I also imagine Spencer Mansion with like a rain setting on. It's just downpour outside.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of doing. I think I might actually remake what I remade from Resident Evil, because I think it's just going to take me a few days rather than a few months.
I mean, with the new functionalities you're talking about, and based off of the little that I did watch of you actually making this, it sounds like it would be a much, much easier process.
So, you know, Forge, they're making it more like a true map editor, you know? So I'm happy they're adding that. It's incredible, and it just adds to the plethora of features that we have so far with Halo 5, and it's looking better and better. It's awesome.
That's great. We're being live streamed right now by James McGuire. Hey, James. Are you on your way home?
Yes, I am.
You're about to play some Battlefront, aren't you?
Go kill some stormtroopers!
Just don't curse. All right?
I said go kill some
I know. I'm preemptive. Yeah.
Go home as I shoot down the enemies of my father.
Can you repeat that one more time?
I said I'm going to go home, rub down my nipples, as I shoot down the enemies of my father.
You know what I had to do today? I had to leave from work, and I played a little bit, and he was pissed that I got to play the game before him, and I had to go to his house while he's at work, break into his home, and download the game for him so that it would be ready by the time he got home.
That's a true friend.
That's a true goddamn friend. All right, we gotta go, buddy.
No cursing.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right, well, enjoy your show, and I'm gonna go kill things.
Sounds good, James. We'll meet you there later.
Hey,
Bye.
destruction, chaos.
That's James, friend of the show. He's been on a bunch. Yeah, it's a good time to bring that up. We will be streaming Battlefront about 10 o'clock tonight on the PS4 as well. So if you want to check that out. And then we're going to be streaming it on PC as well, because I will be doing that also tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to talk about Battlefront a little bit later, because I got my hands on with the beta, and it's just great stuff. But continue with Halo. I'm sorry.
Yep, nope, Forge is looking good.
I was going to say, I feel like what's being, maybe it's not, to me it feels like this, that they're focusing a little more on atmosphere a little bit, or a customizable atmosphere, because I remember in the Reach you were able to change like the lighting a little bit and add some shading and some filters, but with the whole rain functionality in this, it really seems like they're trying to give you that, not only build what you want, but give a mood to
Well,
it
343, they released a short video really showing the whole process of making the new Forge, and they actually had people, Halo fans, called cartographers that were big Forge players.
Cartographers.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's really cool.
That's really cool.
So I know I love it. But yeah, they had these Forge players come in from that were Forge experienced with the other games, and they actually have them try out the new Forge. And there's, 1,600 objects. There's a way more object count.
Is there still like a currency system where you have to buy pieces?
There's no more currency system.
That
In
always
fact,
bothered me.
yeah. Well, I mean, of
It
course,
made sense.
It made sense. But
Yeah.
what they have now instead of the currency system, they just have a simple limit. And what's even better than that is that not every object applies to that limit. So you can actually go over that limit that they
Oh, so like
set.
the bigger objects probably apply, but
Correct.
the smaller ones.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So you know, it seems like
That's
I'm
a
going to
big
be.
deal for a lot of those, especially people that are more into that kind of stuff, like the cartographers, like you said. Like that would be a big deal.
You can even
Figuring
change the
out
colors of the
Really?
individual objects. So you can make everything look exactly the way you want
a
to. Color.
giant hot pink Spencer's mansion.
Yeah, because it's like
It's a bounce house, basically.
exactly. So I'm not going to have when I make it. If I do make it, it's not going to be just this big gray, you know,
Yeah.
house. But you
It's
know,
gonna be brown,
yes,
just like the mansion.
me brown.
But that's really cool. I'm really Forge was easily one of my favorite parts about Halo. Even just going into Forge, playing by yourself, adding a few objects, and just like making up a story that when you're just bored, just to tool around with.
They added some machinima items too for machinima.
Oh, that's really good too.
Makers as well.
Interesting. Which is also very interesting because Machinima's kind of on a down. Couldn't. That looks really inappropriate. Anyway, because I really liked Reach.
What do you
really
mean,
enjoyed
Kyle?
Forge.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you're playing for the different team. But what I wanted to talk about, highlight of my, you know what, we'll talk about that after the next break because we got to go to break soon. A couple of things I wanted to get into before we do that. The New York Comic Con is happening currently, right now. It is Thursday, or it's over today. It's going tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday as well. We were there last year. Unfortunately, we cannot make it this year due to scheduling issues. But
It's Kyle's fault.
It's my fault. But this was pretty cool. So I got to go to an after party last year, which was interesting. It was at Webster Hall. They basically, I knew the people that ran it, and they kind of had a bunch of video game-based bands and artists come. It was a lot of 8-bit, some chiptune. Really cool, Webster Hall. I was pretty impressed. This year, they're topping themselves in a pretty big way. So the official after party for New York Comic Con will have you at Terminal 5, which is a very, very popular venue in New York City. Lots of electronic artists go there.
Fun place.
Where they will be, I want to get this correct, they'll be recreating the Blood Rave intro scene from the movie Blade. Do you remember that? Basically, the movie starts off with a bunch of vampires raving, and they're just doused in blood. There you go. That's the intro to the scene. So what they're going to do is they're going to taper off everything in Terminal 5, and they're going to literally run fake blood through the sprinklers, and they're going to recreate the blood rave scene from Blade. Pretty pissed we're going to miss that.
Wow.
Thoughts? That's pretty nuts.
Screw you.
It was
Holy
not my fault. We
No,
applied
I
for
know,
the
really.
passes at
I
the
know.
appropriate
It wasn't
time.
Kyle's fault, but still.
Don't give me that.
That sounds amazing.
I was like, oh, the chiptune thing was cool, but where the hell was I during
Are
this?
they gonna recreate the fight in the crowd?
I highly doubt that. That'd be pretty-
I would.
Could you imagine if they didn't even tell anybody? Some dude just ran in dressed like Blade and just started like beating on people.
Dude, I would love to just like dress as Blade. Like
Just everyone has
the
to fake vampires.
poorest Wesley Snipes impression I could possibly do.
Wesley Snipes is already pretty poor. Alrighty, moving on. This was pretty cool because it was on Reddit, and this kind of bummed me out as well because I've always wanted that like dream gaming den. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like your zone. I've got a nice battle station.
I had one.
You did. You had a really nice setup. And I got a nice, like, for PC, I guess it's different because your battle station's kind of like right there. Like, I have my TV above it, the monitor and everything. It's
Yeah.
God, that's
Yeah,
what real
yeah,
PC
yeah.
gamers
I know
call
what
it.
you're saying.
Anyway, this guy went above and beyond, and when I get my own place and it's like established and I can actually alter the home, this is like the first thing I'm gonna do. This guy basically made a gaming den with the entrance is a Vault-Tec door from Fallout. So we got a few pictures. That's the entrance to this guy's gaming lair. So that's the first entrance, that's the side, and then basically you, and I saw a video, he literally has to pull it out of the slot and then roll it, but unless the guy's a great like mime artist, it really has some weight to it, or at least it looks like it does.
Wow.
So that's like the entire entrance to that, but
You
it
think
also kind of,
you think it doubles as a panic room?
that'd be pretty, again, jokes aside, the guy was like really struggling to move
Yeah.
that door, so I was like, there's a lock on the inside, that's pretty freaking safe. But it kind of got me interested, what would be your theme to your gaming den if you had it? Like, this guy's obviously a huge Fallout fan. His intro is the Vault-Tec door. Like, what would you think you would have? Mine was always, and it kind of sucks because it already exists, people have done it, but I would have my intro be the safe red door from Left 4 Dead. So you have to open that door, the one that always showed the safe room, and that would be the entrance to mine. I don't know what you'd have with yours, but that would be my kind of dreaming thing. And people have done that with
Mine would just be a dark, dank basement with a single light, and I'd call it Uncle Touchy's Naked Puzzle Basement.
Uncle Touchy's Naked Puzzle Basement. That's good. Yeah, Eric liked that one. That was really good. So it's just I'm imagining an interrogation room with just one light that's just kind of swinging back and forth. That's really sad. That's really, really sad. On that note, we're going to take another break. But when we come back, we got lots more to talk about, including Battlefront. We're going to get deep into the Battlefront beta and a couple other really cool stuff. So stick around. We'll be right back. Save and continue live. Talk to you soon.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with Enravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Enravio TV network.
Just a little Tom Hiddleston dance. Hey everybody, we're back, we're live. It is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Save and Continue, talking about internet, tech, video games, all that stuff. The Battlefront beta was released today. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you were able to pre-download it, and then at 12:30 you were able to actually play it, and I got my hands on it, and it is pretty damn cool, Frankie. Pretty damn cool. I didn't know till yesterday that it was an open beta, so I thought you had to pre-order it in order to play it.
Yeah.
Super happy.
This was news to me.
So I got to play it on PC, and I could have played it with ultra settings and had to run at 30 frames per second, but I really wanted to see this game in 60 frames per second, so I dropped it to medium settings, and it's still gorgeous. Still, like, I couldn't believe on medium settings how good it looked, like, honestly.
Now, what does the beta have to offer at this point?
The beta has 2 game modes you're able to play. One of them is on the new planet, Sussa, I believe. It's basically like a big volcanic planet, a lot of ash, a lot of grime, and that's a drop zone mode. So basically, it's kind of like Capture the Flag with King of the Hill. So there'll be periodically be dropped these drop zones. You go over there, you capture it, you have to defend it. But during that time, other players can come in, the other team can come in, capture it, gain control of it, and you fight back and forth, point-based system. The other one is on Hoth, and that's the actual AT-AT 20v20 on Hoth battle, and it is just gargantuan. The pros and the cons here, very little cons, not being biased, honestly. There's been some pretty incredible stuff here. I'm missing my list of cons. What? No! Anyway, pros, obviously you've seen from the trailers and everything, it's absolutely gorgeous. We have a few pictures, I believe. The game is fantastic, the animations are great, the motion blur is super. Again, on medium settings, it still looks fantastic. On 60 frames per second, it is just, there was a couple times genuinely when I forgot I was playing a game. It really did look like real life.
Is it dedicated servers?
Dedicated servers. I don't know if that's for the beta right now. Oh. There's a couple big changes for the beta. One of which that I was bummed out is that your stats and skills will not transfer over to Battlefront.
Well, of course. Why would they?
Because I thought because it was an open beta.
No, any kind of beta is not going to transfer.
No, I know, but
stats.
maybe if it was pre-order only, I would get that. But open beta,
no, you're never going to see that.
Basically, incredible animations. The load times were really, really quick, surprisingly quick, especially for the beta. That's what leads me to believe dedicated servers. Just because you'd select a match, go in, and then you would kind of look away, look back, and not realize that you're already good to go. Like, kind of had the load screen ready to run. You assumed it would take longer. But the load times were really quick, which got you into games really fast. You can drop in and drop out gameplay, which is fun. The great, really unique card system for bonuses. And that's how they're going with frag grenades and all the upgrades and shields and things, is basically you can come across these cards on the battlefield that regenerate over a certain period of time, and you pick those up, and that's what gives you access to frag cards and all those kinds of things. Or you level up, you spend that in-game currency on frag grenades that you load out with one from the get-go of the match. It's pretty cool.
So it's a rec system, basically.
More or less,
because that's what Halo 5 is doing
Yep,
as well.
it's very similar to that, also in the sense that, same thing with the bonus characters, like playing as Jedi or Darth Vader. You also discover those cards on the field, or you outplay everyone else, and it's based on a skill level too. That being said, that's one of my only cons, really, is the loadout system. We all knew this was going to happen. It's from DICE, the guys that do Battlefield. It goes hand in hand. They did it really well for what it is, but being someone that played Battlefront and Battlefront 2, I was really, really, really hoping for their classic class-based system where you kind of just start off fresh every time. Because playing Battlefront 2, the people that excelled multiplayer-wise, they were good. You knew they were skilled because everyone started off exactly the same, and the only way you could upgrade, the only way you can get better is just to play better. And I really, really like that because James and I, who also just FaceTimed us, put time into that game, and to see this kind of system where it's loadouts and people start off better depending on their levels, it kind of bums me out a bit. I get that it's the system. They did it really well for what it is. That's what, if you had to do a loadout system, this is how you do it. But having gone from a class-based, I'm a little disappointed.
Well, let me get this straight here.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that the originals were class-based, and I enjoyed that. But so the loadout systems, is it from the get-go, you bring your loadouts to each match, or
Yes.
the loadouts change as the match goes
No, you
on?
bring your loadouts to the match. Basically, you have your character, and then through the in-game currency or the cards you find or things like that, you get to add things to your character. So you can change the blasters you have, change what gun you load out with, you have 3 spots basically for your special items, and that can hold a grenade, like a force field shield, an orbital strike marker. Those are really cool. You can get a marker that you throw, and then Y-wings will come in and actually bombard orbit strikes. It's very well done because they did a very similar thing to that in Call of Duty Black Ops, which was like airstrikes, very heavily abused, really easy to cheat, and this is done in a really, like, you get it when you earn it kind of way.
So, is this really the only mode that you have access to? Because
you have 2 modes. You have the drop zone mode. You have the AT-AT mode, which is basically you need to destroy their AT-ATs before they get to a certain point and destroy your shield generators. That's what the mission was.
So regardless, it's 20 on 20. It's always 20 on 20.
It depends on which maps. So I believe the Sussa map is a slightly smaller amount, but the max is at 20v20, and the smallest they will have is 8v8.
Okay.
So the smallest you can go match-wise is 8v8. That's unless you're playing the survival missions. That's the 3rd mode you have access to in the beta. That is one other person, and you basically have, like, it's more or less firefight.
Because what I was going to say was that really, depending on the game design, having loadouts could either supplement the gameplay, or it could definitely cause imbalance. Because, for example, this is a perfect example, since we're on topic with Halo before. Halo 5, we're having arena mode and warzone mode. Arena, you're starting out the way that you're saying you want to start out in Battlefront. You're starting out on a clean slate, everybody's the same, and it's all skill-based. And then when we get to warzone, which is also skill-based,
it's all skill-based.
It's all skill when it comes down to it. You would have a great weapon and still, completely lose to somebody who's just better than you. But Warzone has a rec system like how you're mentioning in Battlefront, where you bring these cards into the match. So, but according to what I've been witnessing and what I've also been hearing from people that have played Halo 5, it's been working very, very well. Like, it's not causing any kind of imbalances, it's not causing any kind of advantages. The matches are still very, very fair. Yeah. So I think really what it comes down to is particular game design. I mean, Battlefront, when I think about it, if that's really the only mode that it has where it's only really, because Battlefront is not, it never was a 1v1, 4v4 type of game. It's always been, large-scale battle.
Battlefront 2 is 64v64
right.
PC.
Yeah, so, for something like loadouts to cause an imbalance in that, I think I need to witness it myself to really understand.
I mean, grain of salt, this is a beta, things are going to change, obviously. Nothing drastic, because they've got a majority of the product already completed. But that being said, I mean, again, I am a little biased because I'm not a fan of the loadout cards, especially with Battlefront, seeing that we're coming from a class system. But it does seem on the slightly more, unbalanced side. What I was not expecting is a lot of the beta, even on the smaller map, it's very little CQB. There's not a lot of close quarters combat. It really is some range, at least how everyone's playing currently.
CQC?
CQB.
CQC, close quarters combat.
CQB, what was CQB?
I have no idea.
I think that was from Halo, actually.
I don't know what CQB is.
One of the classes in Halo was CQB, that's where I'm getting that from. That was
a helmet. That was a helmet. CQC.
You know what's funny? Because he was live streaming Halo 3 a couple days ago, and I was like, what Halo is this? And you died, and I saw the samurai helmet.
And not enjoying it, by the way. If you're seeing me play Halo 3 online on one of my streams, I'm not enjoying that match. I'm not. I hate Halo 3 multiplayer.
Why were you playing it?
Because if you quit, you get penalized.
Why was the Halo 3?
Because it's the way the Master Chief Collection works.
Oh, it just goes through everything?
You have a playlist and it says you vote for 2, 3, or 4. So most people, yeah, I know.
Who the hell would vote for 3?
People that like 3, which I don't understand why people like 3, but whatever, you know.
Anyway, there's not a lot of close quarters, and it's a lot of long range stuff. And for example, when you rank up, you can buy better weapons, and a lot of the people that kill me in the game, because you get to see their stats and what they're holding, is this one rifle that everyone seems to have that's long range. And that right there almost kind of breaks it, because they are easily the most dominant people on the field, because everyone else is set up with automatic blasters with a very limited range, and you have guys here that have basically sniper rifles, one-shot kills, and a lot of it is just poking around corners right now.
But when it comes down to it, you know, it is a beta, and they could change everything.
Everything is changed.
I mean,
they're going to balance it out. But I mean, it is a little bit. It does favor a little people that put more time into it. And as far as I can tell, there really isn't any ranking system, so it's kind of just free for all. You don't know who you're playing with.
Which I don't mind personally. You know, some people really.
I mean, a lot of the games I play aren't ranked matches. I like a lot of unranked, but it really is. It's becoming more and more evident, and it's not game breaking, but it is evident that people that with better loadouts have a larger chance of winning. I mean, that's a given, but even more so than they should. A little bit.
Right.
Again,
I know what you're saying.
Only played a couple matches. I get frustrated easy.
Yeah. Well,
there's
there's
the best FPS with a mouse and keyboard. I'm still getting used to that.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And actually, I wanted to ask you that. How does FPS work in Battlefront compared to the third person?
Oh, that was very, again,
that's a great topic.
Sure, I was going to be playing third person the entire time, which is really great, but I've been finding myself playing a lot of first person.
That's what I would probably do.
I was shocked by that, because I was having this conversation the other day. I think skill-wise, I'm better at first person shooters, but I enjoy the third person perspective more. And I would rather play what I enjoy more rather than what I'm better at. I'm fine with losing more just to give up to that perspective, but I find it really is enjoyable in first person. It works very, very well. I mean, again, you could do that in Battlefront 2 with certain, in PC you could switch between perspectives, but it really works well. It really does.
I'm just more focused when I see first person.
I think, yeah, there's less things on the screen to distract you, obviously. I think, I don't know if it's true, but I feel like you get a larger field of view.
Well, yeah, probably.
Well,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I thought for sure maybe if you're backed out, you'd see a little more of the space around you. But you know what it is? A lot of it, like I said, is long-range combat. And when you get to that first-person perspective and you see down the scope, it's way more. It's way better than getting over the shoulder and just seeing that you get a little closer to the body.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, tactically, that just makes more sense to be in first-person shooters. Again, we were talking to James about this. You will see people in first-person perspective. If this ever becomes a competitive game, everyone will be playing in first person. You strategically have a better chance.
I don't see it becoming competitive at all.
I'm just saying, you get it? Like, people who want to win will be playing in first person.
Because Battlefront to me, I mean, and this is just my opinions, my experiences, you know, I think Battlefront's a straight up, you know, I want to have fun.
That's what I'm
and not that I don't want to, you know, really strive to win and beat their asses. It's just I don't see it as a competitive game, and it's not meant to be. I don't think.
Well, I mean,
you know,
I still see it as competitive. When I play the game, I plan on winning.
Well, I'm talking more from like
if I don't win, I'm going to be like, damn, come on.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, you're right. I find myself less shaky hands afterwards and more like, oh man, that was crazy. Because you get into it, and anytime you do get stressed out in the game, it does something amazing. Like you'll see in the background, like because when you're on Hoth, you see the space battle going on, and you see ships flying by and like in out orbit, like giant starships, and you see like spontaneous explosions, and you actually see debris come off the ship.
What starships? Star Wars fan?
I don't know. There's no names for them.
Yes, there are. There's names for all the ships. Are you kidding me?
Starship? Name one starship name from Star Wars.
Starship?
Yeah.
I don't know. Y-wings,
Star
X-wings.
Destroyers. There's no name for them. It's like Battleship or something.
Of course there is.
Shut the hell up.
There is in Halo.
You'll be getting stressed out, and you'll see this, and you'll just stop playing and be like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" Like you'll see from this perspective, like debris fall off and explosions that look real, not just like it's not a matte painting that they put on the wall.
No game is at this point. Skyboxes have become a staple in games.
I mean,
nowadays.
they could have very easily made that and that matte painting and not done anything because it's so far away. It's like you wouldn't even notice it. But they put that time into those details, and it really is great. When characters die, you hear the Wilhelm scream that from the movies. You see, it's the same way they die in the movies, where they kind of do that, like, dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you blank your sister? Flanky ballsack. Thank you so much. I don't know what the stars are. It's great. Twitch has some of the best trolls. People get pissed, but I'm like, they're creative individuals.
This guy isn't a troll.
he's just a flanky ballsack. But it's great, and then again, watching people play as specialty characters like Darth Vader and everything like that. There's GIFs all over the internet of it because it's so cool. It's just, you stop. Like, there's times where two people go at it. Like, I saw Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, me on Vader's side, go at each other, like find each other on the battlefield.
And you saw it happen?
Literally, yeah. And literally, there was an unofficial ceasefire between me and the other team. Like, everyone, there was like 5 guys on my team, and we like circled around them. like a schoolyard fight, like, yeah, fight. And it was just these two having a lightsaber fight, and people were just like shooting around them, like not trying to hit them, just like there's like lasers going. It was an incredibly hysterical moment, and it was still like goosebump inducing. You're like, oh my god, this is nuts. Because the lightsaber fights actually look like lightsaber fights. It's not just random swinging, hoping you get damage on that guy. It actually is.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars and sister-brother porn, you might want to watch the Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker porn that's out there. You might like that.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, and he does do that too.
Rule 36.
You might like it, flanky ballsack.
Well, doggy style, is there any other style? I don't think so.
I only do missionary.
So boring. Anyway, it's
I am Amish.
Game. We're going to be streaming that again tonight, 10 p.m., and then tomorrow I will be trying to stream that as well on PC. It's very different. We'll be streaming the PS4 tonight, which is cool. And then we'll see it from PC tomorrow, which is very interesting. Moving on, Far Cry Primal was announced. Have you heard anything about this? Have you heard about it, or you just don't care?
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't care because I'm far behind when it comes to Far Cry.
Well,
I have not played.
This seems like the kind of title that you could get into then, because it's a very big departure from what the other.
Is there dinosaurs in it?
I don't know. All right, so basically, Far Cry Primal is going to have you step in the shoes of a Neanderthal in the Stone Age, and basically what happens is you are the sole survivor of your hunting party after an accident gone wrong. Then we'll get into it. So basically, you give up your guns and grenades for spears and rocks, and basically take on the role of this caveman. So it's pretty interesting, I guess. As someone who played the other Far Cries, it is weird that they're going to take such a big jump.
Do you notice, though, how Assassin's Creed-y Far Cry is becoming? How it's coming out every year at this point?
Yeah, there's a sense of it.
Because I remember when 3 just came out.
There's a sense of it.
Yeah, 3 just came out, 4 just came out. I mean, I don't know. I have no reason to be concerned because I haven't played any of them.
So far, honestly.
I mean, I have
2 is good. You played that.
Well, 2 had a lot going for it. I think we actually talked about 2 here before.
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, and 2 had a lot going for it. I think it had a really cool sense of atmosphere. But,
Oh, hideous!
Are you guilty, Kyle?
You know what I was saying before? I was like, we were just having this conversation where it was like, if someone walked up and just called you a flurry of curse words, it would not hurt nearly as much if someone just walked up and like, you're a jerk. I'd be like, oh man, that really hurt.
Wait, Eric, go back to my screen.
Why?
You see, like,
You
see that?
Get a picture, Eric.
That's awesome.
Give a face. Look at the camera.
Which camera?
There you go.
Am I in it?
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, yeah. Anyway.
Good.
All
right, thank you.
Man,
we were talking about Far Cry, right? Yeah, Far Cry. So yeah, Primal, I have no problem with Primal. I'm actually looking forward to the setting. When I heard that it was taking place, you know, in more, I guess, this era, we've talked about dinosaurs needing to be in more games, so I'm excited, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't say ugly, it says guilty.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought it said ugly.
No, I said.
That's why I was laughing.
I was laughing because it says guilty.
Why? That's called a microphone, bro.
I don't know.
It picks up audio so that you can hear it. I know, it's like,
So
revolutionary.
Far Cry 3, I still want to play personally. 4, I really don't care much about. But.
Yeah, I mean, I got to play Far Cry 3 a bit on the PS3, which was a really fun game, riding on the elephants and stuff. I'm not a huge Far Cry fan, so I guess it's not a big deal. But if I were a very dedicated fan, I'd kind of be a little frustrated by this. It's not a little exactly. I don't consider this a genuinely original idea. I mean, this is really going along the lines of Ark Survival, which already exists on the PC, and it's great. That's the game. It's kind of like people and dinosaurs and stuff. And
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't think too much in that aspect.
What?
I wouldn't think too much about that. It's too much like Ark Survival because you can't take a theme I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that I am just a little concerned about the franchise because it's Ubisoft doing what they do best at this point.
It's a lot of franchises recently really breaking the mold and doing new things between Siege and Far Cry and all these games now. Battlefront is easily one of those. I have a couple of strings. Maybe you should hear some. Hashtag true.
I'm over this guy.
Yeah, I'm over him too. Oh, that's again. I hate to talk up another guy's streams, but the guy Simply Terrible who does Aftermath is the funniest troll. He handles trolls so hysterically. Just god, it's an art. It's I'm not even into it. Anyway, I thought it was interesting how they're going to change the idea for that. Again, I played Ark Survival, and it really just the shot, the first person with the spear looks just like the game. And Rust, and there's kind of like we were talking about MMOs with zombies. There is a bunch of kind of stoic Stone Age Minecraft-esque games out right now. That's another trend that's been coming a little more apparent, at least on PC. You see a bunch of them coming out now. But it's pretty crazy, interesting trend. A couple things to get through. Let's nail through a couple lists of some stuff. The Peeple app has been released. I wanted to bring this up because I think this is funny. Peeple app with the official tagline, Yelp for People. Basically, this is an app where you can rate human beings, just like businesses. We have a picture of it, and then I want to show you what this reminded me of the minute I heard it.
Community.
Please load it. Yep, Meow Meow Beans.
Yeah,
you ever seen the show Meow Meow Community? There's an episode called Meow Meow Beans where they sarcastically make fun of an app that rates people or something, and they already exist.
And that's from the new season, if I'm not mistaken, right? Meow Meow Beans? It is, yeah, and I think it was one of the best episodes Community had. It was really incredible. It's so true how infatuated people get with such crap.
Exactly.
You know? I actually thought it was a joke when I first heard about. Yeah, but is anyone really gonna? I don't think it's one of those things. If that thing catches on, then there's truly no hope for humanity. Because we're already so infatuated with Instagram and Snapchat. I have no problem with it. I think they're great apps, but I think some people take it too far.
Yelp for People.
Yeah, I know.
It's just you couldn't have chosen a less attractive tagline than that. Nothing turns me off more than that. But I thought it was a joke too. Just like Meow Meow Beans, man. It's so crazy. Come on, also, dozens of high-profile games on the App Store have been discontinued due to the iOS 9 update. BioShock, Sam & Max, a bunch of games. Just basically drop support entirely for these games. The developers have said that they will be adding support to them in the near future, but this is kind of just adds to the decline of Apple in a sense. Do you really need to eat that now? We have 10 minutes left, and you're gonna start eating? Oh, God. All right, yeah, anyway, dozens of games have been removed. They'll be back. It just shows the decline of Apple. They really don't care about gaming. They released that functionality for Apple TV games that it has Angry Birds and 2 other things.
Of Apple, you say?
Just so much.
That's why I ate it at the same time.
It's very interesting that they got drop support for that. Just shows the decline of Apple, honestly. That their products are going downhill. Their recent iPad update their new iPad is crap. It's really disappointing. Sucks. Don't get Apple. Minecraft has made a big change by adding a magic cape that allows you to glide in the game, which can basically give proximity flying.
Oh my!
This is a big deal.
God!
This is a big deal, man.
Game changing.
No, it really is. It really is. There's a bunch of game modes out now and stuff where it has you.
You know what did that? Super Mario.
What?
Super Mario did that.
Super Mario what? Did what?
Super Mario World.
What?
Mario with his cape. You fly and glide.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying Mario did it years ago. Eric, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Did I say we were the first people to do this? No. I'm saying Minecraft.
I'm saying Minecraft is copying Mario.
Who gives a crap?
I
Who
do.
gives a damn?
I think it's not.
Wait.
It's not.
Mario
It's not genuine.
He exclusive.
It's not
they
genuine.
Have the rights to the Magic Kingdom.
Notch should be ashamed.
Notch doesn't even own Minecraft.
He owns the world.
Dude, he was just reading. He bought this like huge mansion and throws like giant Hollywood parties for like Selena Gomez and Zencraft. And he just did an article about how he's like the loneliest guy in the world still. And it was really sad.
Oh.
But yeah, he dropped off Minecraft years ago. I don't even think Jeb works on it anymore.
Bill Gates should be ashamed.
Anyway, yeah, you can do base jumping, proximity flying. It can only be found. You cannot craft it. I'm excited. Go to hell. Anyway, let's wrap things up. We only got a couple minutes left. This is, you'll be interested to hear this. Rise of the Tomb Raider has officially announced microtransactions. So, what you'll be doing now, they will have basically expedition cards, which adds upgrades and strange modes to multiplayer, such as being able to heal without using resources or adding a big head mode. And there will also be common cards, which are only used once for upgrades and stuff, I guess, for multiplayer games as well. But yeah, you can either buy in-game currency or you can earn it, which takes much longer to do. So yes, Rise of the Tomb Raider microtransactions. Not a good thing, because we were talking about it last show, how amped up we are for it. Didn't really want to hear that.
I mean, I'm sure it's still going to be a good campaign.
I'm still going to play it.
Yeah.
I'm still
It's always disappointing when they say they're going to add something like that. See, Halo 5 is a great example.
They can do it right, but...
Well, that's what I mean. Halo 5 is doing microtransactions right because it's not actually... and you know, maybe I don't know how they're doing microtransactions in Rise of the Tomb Raider. So,
no, I just told you.
All I know, well, I mean, besides... Yeah, you did just tell me. I'm saying that I wasn't listening, no. I'm saying that in Halo, they're doing it in a way where it's actually beneficial. And it's not so much interrupting the sandbox, you know what I mean? So if Tomb Raider does it in a way, like you just said, where it's not really harmful to the game itself, then, and the campaign especially, I don't really care. But I don't like it when they do microtransactions in a way where it's really giving you the jump ahead to get, let's say, so you have an easier time in a certain part of the level, you know, in a certain part of the campaign.
I mean, yeah, we talked about
it. You know, that's where I like I'm feeling like I'm gypped from
there are
just
good
playing
ways
normally.
of going about it. Mortal Kombat did it in a way that I really enjoyed. How basically you could pay to make the fatality finisher moves easier to do.
That was stupid.
Really?
That was stupid.
No, why is this stupid? We had the same argument last time.
Why would you pay?
What about I'm not hiding anything? Flanky ballsack? I'm not. Continue. I'm saying that people enjoy the game. It doesn't affect whether or not you beat the character that you're playing, the AI opponent or the multiplayer opponent. It just affects how easy it is to do the fatalities at the end. It doesn't make you better than anyone. You don't have to earn anything that's going to give you an advantage to anybody. It doesn't make the game easier. It just makes that cool thing.
Dude, I feel like
which already doesn't matter. Cooler and easier.
I feel like it'd be like a great diss to like tell somebody like, yo, you're so like you suck so much that you pay to do a fatality.
I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying it makes more sense than a lot of this stuff, like GTA, where you can just buy in-game currency and then purchase helicopters and better guns and stuff and dominate multiplayer. That's a bad way of doing microtransactions. Mortal Kombat did it in a way where they earned money without affecting the game really to anybody but the person playing it.
You're a wimp. It makes you not you.
I know. I'm saying. That's like, I mean, who cares? If you buy Mortal Kombat, you don't play a lot of video games, and you love that ending move, but you don't feel like learning it, and you got the cash, I don't see why not. It's not making you beat the character any better. It's that one thing at the end that's all visual aesthetics just for fun. Fatalities are just for fun. They don't help you in the
No, fatalities are serious.
Fatalities are serious. I always thought it'd be cool if Smash had fatalities at the end.
Like Final Smashes.
No, I'm talking about like fatalities, where like Kirby rips out the spine of Star Fox. Yeah, you like that. But yeah, how did that Smash tournament go, by the way? I don't think we ever talked about that.
Yeah, we did. We talked about
that.
We
did?
Yeah. Oh. Nolan somehow beat me. Somehow beat me.
He's just, I know, he's like, what is Frankie saying? I was like, he's very gracious about it. He hasn't been like, there's a big excuse. I'm like, he was totally humble about it, and here you go now.
There's actually a rumor that Wolf is going to be back in Smash 4. So if Wolf is back as Wolf, Smash 4's out, dude.
Oh,
Smash Wii U.
Why don't you just say Wii U?
Because everyone calls it Smash 4.
I don't. I don't.
So there's a rumor that Wolf is going to be back in the game, so if that's the case, I'm excited, because I'd rather play Wolf over than anybody else.
I think that was always your go-to guy, that Lucario.
Wolf and Sheik. Yeah, Lucario's good too.
Oh, yeah, I was able to watch some of the stream from like the latest championships, and Zero, like the best player in the world, was
Zero's really good.
Yeah, playing with Sheik. The kid was just
Zero's nasty.
It's really just scary, dude. But we gotta wrap things up. We're almost out of time. Thanks everyone for joining with us, and thank you to Flunky Ballsack for making this interesting. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/Chainsaw Academy. Be sure you're heading to inravio.com to check out all of our other awesome live content. Heading to Twitter and following at Chainsaw Academy, facebook.com/Save and Continue Show. Is there anything else? Is that all of our links? YouTube.com/Chainsaw Academy.
I'm going to stream some more. I'll be better.
We're going to be streaming a bunch tonight, 10 p.m. an hour from 2 hours from now. We'll be streaming some Battlefront on PS4, and then tomorrow streaming some Battlefront on PC. He'll be streaming a bunch of Master Chief Collection and a bunch of other games as they're released. Always check out the stream. We're always streaming. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all next week. Have a great weekend, everybody, and a good Comic-Con. Whee!